Hello everyone. I'm doing another colored pencil portrait of a house finch. This is the actual picture of it. I chose this because I really like the colors, the contrast of the yellow berries and the pinkish purple of the house finch. I have gotten my pattern on my pastel mat, which pastel mat is all I use with colored pencils and my pastels. So I've already done the berries, as you can see, and so I will do a practice one here, show you how I did those. My little piece of scratch paper here. Okay, I've started out with the Polychromos Cadmium Yellow 107 and get the shape of the berry, fill it all in with your yellow, and most of the stems, as you can see, they start out yellow, then they kind of go to an orange and then a light red. So I'm going to go ahead and put the stem on there. As you can see, I don't have my pencil super sharp. I can make this with the sharpness that I have it right there. And then I'm going to take a cotton bud and I'm going to push that color into the paper. Then I will take a reddish orange. This is a Pablo. And wherever the shadow is, I will go on that side of it. Drop in my orange. Now I'm doing this rather fast. I usually take a little bit more time than this, but drop that orange in, and then I'm going to go over that with some scarlet red, 110. Bring a little bit more of the red up into it. Then I'll take my cotton bud once again and blend those colors together. And of course, you know that by adding this shadow and the deeper colors on one side, that's going to do nothing but make it look three-dimensional. I'm going to take my orange and kind of come up the stem a little bit to make that look realistic. And then at the very top of that stem, I will add my red. You really need your pencils pretty sharp on these stems, these really small areas like that. Now, to put the catch light that a lot of these berries have, I am going to use a soft pastel. If you're using colored pencils, I would invest in a very good soft white pastel. It's very, very white, and I have found that to be the only thing that I can really get my highlights that I want with that. And just by touching that with a little bit of white, you can see where that really does add the highlight. Now, if you get a little too much, you can go in and kind of blend that in a little bit. And then I've taken a bright yellow, the Polychromos Light Cadmium Yellow 105. If you really want to get a little bit more color in there, just go over that lightest area with this yellow, and it will really bring that out. Okay, so that's how I've done the berries. Now, I want to point out really quick another thing that I always try to do. So I'm left-handed, and I always want to start from the right to the left, being left-handed. I've got my camera so low here, the light, so I can try to get the best picture I can for you. So sorry, I accidentally hit that. And then what I do sometimes, this is just a little bit of a foam, kind of an insulator thing. You can use wax paper, you can use parchment paper to kind of lay down over the rest of that while you're working on it. But anyway, I start from the right to the left when I'm left-handed. The tree limb in the picture, it is kind of a, I always look to see what colors I actually see in something, and that's when I decide what I'm going to use. I see some red, and I see some dark blue, I see a little bit of dark gray, and I see some highlights on there. So what I took first was a Prismacolor. This is pomegranate, 195, and I went down through the middle of the stem. I know that seems kind of weird, maybe using red. I went down through the middle of the stem, blended that in a little bit, and then I took, hit it again. I took my dark indigo 157, and that is what I made the darker side of the bark, the deep side, deep color. Kind of fill that in, and I blended it in with the red to a certain extent. Just, it's all about blending. And some people might think, well, I see this color, I'm just going to use a gray, just solid gray. If you use a solid color of any kind, you're not going to get the dimension. You've got to have your different dimensions, your different colors, your highlights, your dark shaded areas to get that 3 dimension. And more than likely, in most things in nature, you can't just use one color. You've got to use several to actually make it look realistic. So anyway, I went in with my dark indigo over that, and with my blender, or I have used an actual excuse me, it's a white color, just colored pencil. It really, excuse me, oh, so sorry, does not really show up the white, but it actually helps blends the colors in for you. I'm going to stop right there, and we'll go into starting on the bird.